Welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, my beautiful soul sisters, and I am Shelly. I am a certified 500-hour yoga teacher. I am a Reiki master, a mama of three. I am the author of this beautiful book. Whoop, where is it? Awaken You from Pain to Healing, a Woman's Way of Waking Up to Her Life. I'm so grateful to be here today and also excited. Do you ever struggle with trusting in the process of life? And do you want to control everything? That incessant need to control. Oh, I find this all too familiar that many of us, my beautiful soul sisters, we try to control all the things in life. And then it creates this like really heavy tension, especially in our relationships. Do you have relationships like that are just like, they just keep having this like reoccurring energy over and over and over? You just like keep having the same tension between you and this person in different ways, and it comes in different experiences. I know this all too familiar. This especially rings true to my relationship with my husband. And so really tapping into asking yourself, what relationship is it that you're not trusting in the process of the relationship, and where you're having that yucky, gross, tense energy? And maybe those emotions are seated in fear, they're seated in guilt, they're seated in shame, they're seated in resentment. I've been with the same man for 20 years, like almost 21 years. And so I know these a lot. Like, we were babies. We were 20 and 21 when we first got married, and I'm rounding up on my 40th birthday in June. And I know that when we first were together, we were completely different people on like such a different journey, and life has gone and flowed. And I really have had this need to control all of the things in life because it's just easy. It's easy to want to control. And I will say that all of the times that I try to control my husband, that it doesn't end out well. And I have to teach myself and remind myself that the only person that I get to control of is me. The only person's thoughts I get to choose are mine. The only person's actions I get to choose are mine. And with this huge awareness, it can help shift so much in our relationships. And I know that I have this like passion and this desire to share all of the spiritual practices and all the self-care practices and personal growth. And I love it. It's why I'm here. It's one of my many dharmas, my life's purposes. But we can't change people who don't want to change. And the only person that we can change is ourselves. And so if you're like hyper focusing on everything that you don't like about this person, especially if it's your partner or your kids, because I have this beautiful quote over here, if you can see it. Oh, it's over here. It says, "Where my focus goes, energy flows." Where my focus goes, energy flows. So tap into the truth of that. What are you focusing on? So think of like a camera. We put our camera and we're focusing the lens on what it is that we want. Well, right now we're focused on this eyeball, but that's one singular little eyeball. Are we focusing on like, I don't like the way that you're acting, or you're always blah, blah, blah. You don't help enough. You don't do the dishes enough. You don't show up enough. You don't, but you know, the story that you've told yourself about this person that's creating more of this pile of crap over here. It's like, or if you're a rug shover, sometimes I can be a rug shover. It's like, pull up the rug and then get everything underneath of it. And then it's like this really gross, steaming pile of disgustery over here. And so remembering that what we're focusing on is what we're growing. And if we're focusing on everything we don't like about this person, everything that's like, ew, wrong with you, if we're just judging versus being a more loving and a more compassionate human to this person, then that is what becomes our truth. And remembering or knowing that what we think about is what becomes our belief system. Like, what settles in here, we adopt as what we believe. And our beliefs are what form our whole entire lives. Isn't that crazy? Did you know that? The way that you believe, what you feel about everything, it's all linked to your beliefs, to your feelings, to your thoughts. And do you know when you can change your thoughts, you start changing your feelings, and then you start changing your beliefs. And I will 100% attest that I used to be I've been always an optimistic, loving person. However, I was like very negative, and I used to always feel like, why me? I definitely was like a victim and always wanted people to feel bad for me and would make up stories. And I was not the most truthful person. And I had to go through a legitimate truth detox. I talk about it in my book, Awaken You, available on Amazon, that I had to learn that people wouldn't run away from me if I was honest. That I grew up believing that lies, if they were little lies or big lies, that everything was just a lie or a story, that I had to teach myself how to be honest with myself and how I was feeling. I had to be honest with my relationships and what I was experienced. And when I could tap into that, I was able to shift so much in my life. And so I want to ask you, what part of your life or what part of a relationship with another person are you not being honest with? Are you not giving your full heart? Are you hiding from? Are you afraid to share? Because I know it's so interesting. My husband and I, been together forever. I used to tell him half of the amount of money that I spent because he would always yell at me. He would even yell at me about half of the amount of money that I was spent. And so I started saying, oh my gosh, I have to stop lying to him about how much money I'm spending on things because life is just expensive and it costs things. And why would he be mad at me about how much things cost? Because it's not my fault the way that things cost, even though that's why I was feeling this guilty shame about it. So then I started being honest with how much things cost. And it was so crazy. It was this one little liberating thing that I decided to do consciously. And then I would notice myself if I would like make up a story about whatever it was, like that maybe he wouldn't think I was good enough if I didn't do this or that I would just be honest and say, like, this is how I'm actually feeling. And I even struggle with that. Isn't that crazy? Sometimes I can really struggle with actually telling my husband how I feel inside because I can sometimes resort to being passive aggressive. But I've really learned that the way I can help heal this energy, this tension with him that I want to share with you to bring into your life with your relationship. So I want you to just kind of tune into one person, let it come up right away, the first person who you're having tension with. One person who you keep having that same gross, nasty energy, that gross emotional state that's based on fear, resentment, blame, guilt, shame, whatever it is. There's no right or wrong. This is not here to make you feel bad. This is here to help you heal and shift, because I swear, I promise you, if you can start doing this, it will change your relationships with yourself and relationship with that person, and then it will like spider web. So our self-care practice is we're going to tap into these 3 different emotions, okay? They're emotions. They're here. You don't have to go to the store. They're already here. The first one, the key is to put your hand on your heart. Hand on heart creates oxytocin. That's that love hormone, the feel good hormone that comes when you're touched. That's why we cross our arms. Hand on the heart. So we're going to turn this first on ourselves. And we're going to take a big breath in. We're going to exhale. Maybe you can find something to focus on if you have like a lovely crystal, or if you have a plant, or you can look out the window or a fleck of carpet and just say, I love you. I love you. And breathe a breath of love in for yourself. And let love fill up the space around you. I am compassion. I am compassion. Breathe compassion in for yourself. Exhale. I am forgiveness. I am forgiveness. And breathe forgiveness in for yourself. Exhale. And really allow yourself to tap into that love. Shine compassion on yourself, that same compassion you give those you love. And allow yourself to forgive yourself, because it's okay. You are only human. And in the next breath, bring up the energy of a person that you're struggling with. And instead of what you're used to doing, shift it and say, I love you, and send them love. I love you. And offer them compassion. Send them a wave of compassion that connects from your heart to theirs. and say, I forgive you. I forgive you. And then send it with love. And then wrap your arms low around yourself. Give yourself a big breath of love in. Exhale and blink your eyes open. And I know it's kind of a quick practice, or maybe it seemed long, but that's something you can actually do in any moment. So when you notice that you're struggling with someone, really quick tap into love, compassion, forgiveness. Instead of saying that person, the yucky energy that you're used to, the yucky emotions, hate or blah, whatever it is, the need to guilt, the need to shame, the need to blame, send them love, send them compassion, and send them forgiveness. And just you wait. Oh, my beautiful soul sister, just you wait. And this is a beautiful practice that I do throughout my day when I'm struggling. And I also do it at nighttime. It's a beautiful nighttime practice. It's a beautiful morning practice. I like to do it all the time whenever I feel, and you can do it in like a minute or two. So I just hope for you that you can be that love, that compassion, and that forgiveness. And I just know that it will change everything for you. I love you. I'm grateful for you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to Yoga Bliss with Shelly and hit the notification bell. It will tell you about all of our latest and greatest releases. And also, I'm creating this beautiful love letter, a beautiful free weekly love letter that has self-care practices and a yoga pose of the week and just like my heart and soul behind the scenes in my life. And you can direct message me, or you can send an email to yogablisswithshelly@gmail.com. And I will love to sign you up for that. I'm so grateful for you. I love you. And I also have a podcast if you want more of this Yoga Bliss with Shelly podcast on all your favorite platforms. Have a lovely day, a beautiful day. I love you. Be the love, be the compassion, be the forgiveness that you deserve, because you're worthy. You're worthy of all of it. You just have to tap into it. And remember, right? When we start changing all this, it changes how we believe, how we feel, how we think. It changes our whole lives. I love you. Namaste, beauties.